Hello everyone, this is a Vissim video today and I will talk about user-defined attributes, and in this example specifically I will create an attribute that will calculate the heavy vehicle percentage or split on a link. So how it works is, in base data there is a menu, UDA or user-defined attributes. Once you click on it, this window will be present. So you can use the plus icon to add. It's very important. The first thing you should do is you need to select of the object you want this attribute for. When you open anything in Vissim, you notice that there is this range icon where you can select attributes, and that attribute will appear in the list for that object. So in our case, it will be a data collection measurement. As you can see, we already placed data collection point. So that point will be used for, as will be assigned to a data collection measurement. And in that measurement, we can see that new attribute. So if I go to evaluation, measurement definition and data collection measurement, here, if I go to this icon, my user-defined attribute will be there. So this is the reason why it is important first to select the object and first to think about what object it could be. So we select the object there. There is a short name and a long name. So in Vissim there is always a short name and a long name for everything. It just basically you are free to change this name or to create or name it any way you want. I just call it heavy split or heavy vehicle split, but you do the way you want. Comment, just a comment, it doesn't matter. And the data type. So before you select the data type, you need to understand what kind of data you will get out of it. So in this case, it is a proportion, so it's a percentage, a number, but not an integer, not a whole number, because there is a division in it, so it will be probably a number with some decimals. So I think floating point number is correct here. As you can see, there is an integer, boolean, text, all kinds of different data types. And the data source type can be data or formula. So in this example, I stick with formula because it's going to be a calculation. So but when you select data, it would be just, you can just set up some default values, minimum, maximum. In this case, it's not really helpful. If you want to define like a constant or like a minimum, maximum with some decimal places, probably not that important to use. Or you can just store again some constants there, if you wish. So if I select formula, this window comes up on the right side, basically an input text where you can input the formula itself. And you can also select decimal places, how many you want to have, because it's a floating number. So what you can do here is how you can put the calculation together. It might be a bit confusing here, so you don't need to worry, you don't need to write it. You will be able to select it, but before you come here, this should be the last step you do, because before you need to understand this sub-attribute section. So here there is simulation run and time interval. So there are, as you know, in Vissim you can have different time, you can define different time periods in a model. So in your simulation can be like a period 1.8 thousand seconds long. So that's the whole length of the model. When you go to the evaluation and you want to do you want to export some, you want to extract some data, there is a from time to time and an interval setting. So this interval in this case we create like in 600, that means like 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes you will have an aggregated value that represents that 10 minutes. So you will have that user attribute, a value in that user attribute for every single interval from 600 to 1200. If you put it like that, that would be two interval basically. You will have from 600 to 12 and from 1200 to 1800. Basically you have two in that period. So let's keep it like that, and since in this case we will need to understand so we try to calculate the heavy vehicle split or proportion or percentage. We need to calculate that first. So you need to make sure that you select at least HGV. HGV is the heavy goods vehicle. So you need to have at least that. And by default, you always have all vehicles calculated automatically. So let's keep this data collection on. So we collect data, you tick, from time to time and the interval. So if I go back to the definition window, that's why I want the time interval selected, because I will have multiple intervals in every simulation, in every period. And I also want to run my model multiple times to have an idea if it changes over in different runs. So if you use different seeds, that can change, and then you can see how it changes, like the first simulation and the second and the third, and within each you will have for the first period, for second period, first period, second period, and so on. So how do you put then the formula together? So if you click on this X, add operand, e.g. attribute button, you will be able to select that basically. So delete it. You can just click on it. We want vehicles, and because we ticked those boxes, as you can see now, it is not there, that option. It only shows current run and stop. If I select both, if I come back to vehicle count, then you will have simulation runs, time intervals, and all types. And you can see the brackets. And those brackets mean that basically it will be calculated for all simulations and all time intervals when there is data. So I'm going to select that. Otherwise it would be just calculated for the current run or for a specific run or period. So you can see this is current run, this period 600 to 1200, and for car. So what I want is I want the vehicle number for heavies, and I want all vehicle numbers. So if I divide if I say heavy vehicles slash or divided by all vehicles, that will give me the calculation. So if I say 20 heavies per 100, then you will have that. So I look for simulation runs, time intervals, and heavies, and it is there. So if I click OK, I say divided. Then I go back to vehicles, and I now select the same for all types. And as you can see, it just left empty. Of course, if you know the syntax, you can calculate it yourself. I just add brackets just for safety. So if I click OK, then I run the model again. Also, it's recommended that you run your model or you have that result already. So just make sure that you run your model, and otherwise it can be that maybe that result is not there. So just make sure you run it first. I just rerun it again. It will run very fast. It's 3 very short runs because I run a multi-run. You can see simulation run is 1, so 2 from 3. In brackets you see the 3 run in total. So it is ready now. So okay, so if I go back to my data collection measurement, if you go to that icon, I already selected it, but let's say it's not there. It's not there, so you go there. Heavy vehicle split is here. And you can see attribute, the short name is shown here, heavy split. So if you click on it, you have now all the results for each simulation run and the attribute, sorry, the period. It only has for one period because probably I forgot to click OK. Yeah, I didn't save it. So we have only for one period now. And if you select, if you want to show, let's say the average, you can just click average. And we want to see the time period there. You can have the minimum, maximum, average, total, and you can select any of the attribute there. So let's just select the average of all 3 runs for this period. And for an extra tip, because if I click OK now, it is shown like that. But if you go back again, you can set the format to %, and you can click show units. And that way it will show the percentage sign and the 2 decimals and your number. And if you go to the data collection results, evaluation data collection results, it's you can also select it here by just clicking it as before. And for each run, you can see how it changes. So in the first run it was 575, then it's 411, then it's 625, and the average is 5.3. So this is the way you calculate it. These can be very helpful, especially if you want to calculate something like this that is not available by default, or if you want to use some calculation like this in an attribute modification later, or as a condition somewhere. So it will be calculated, and you can use that data later as a further calculation, or in another place, in a formula-based routing or whatever. So it's quite helpful, I think. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have any requests or any ideas for any videos, just let me know in the comments below, and I will try to make the new video. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.